This is the Royal Opera House in London, and it's my most favorite opera house. Recently, it has been renamed as the Royal Ballet and Opera, and today is the showing of Eugene Onegin. It's a love story, and then very with intense love story, and originally the music is by Piotr Tchaikovsky, a Russian composer, and the author is Pushkin, and it's a very nice love story. And it's the interval. There is an interval for about half an hour, and this is the time during the interval. It's it's a Royal Opera House, about the Royal Opera House London. It's a fantastic opera house that plays ballets. Recently, it has been named as the Royal Ballet and Opera. The lineup is it has its origins that date back to 1752 or 17th century, 18th century. And Handel's was an important component of this, and Handel's Jephthah, for example, was performed last year. I was here, and Jephthah was there was a revival of Jephthah, and it was a fantastic revival. Handel's music is simply amazing. I mean, I can't really all these operas and the ballets, they're fantastic in every way, and Handel's Jephthah was fantastic as well. Now about the Royal Opera House, it's a capacity of more than 2,000, I believe. And then you have these fantastic lights that are that we see, and the seats obviously at various levels. I'm at one of the top levels, and then you have the intermediate middle ceiling is, they have, once you see the openings as well, right? And these are for there are a lot of lights and projections and other systems that are there in these openings. Otherwise we'll see them as it's a closed ceiling. And when we see there are a lot of lights and projections in this theater, lights, you see here it's a row of so many lights and projections, and there we also see the hanging microphones, and then the subtitles are in English, and because the libretto is in Russian. Original libretto is in Russian, and so it's this is one of the most and here Royal Opera House, now called Royal Ballet and Opera (RBO), has been the setting for many fantastic operas, ballets, and of course concerts. For example, Meyerling, Manon, Meyerling. I mean, every production of Royal Opera House London is Royal Ballet and Opera London is fantastic. I mean, it's a masterpiece in itself. It's one of the best opera houses in the whole world, and obviously every opera and ballet is a magic, and these people create the kind of magic. I mean, last year I was here. I was lucky to watch Rigoletto, then Jephthah twice, luckily, and then my most favorite ballet, this Don Quixote. Luckily, I could watch it 2 times, and Jephthah, Rigoletto, and I also did a backstage tour of this Eugene Onegin production seems to be with very less sets because the stage is plain, but the music is fantastic. I mean, there were multi-chorus songs as well, and it's like it's a magic. Nothing that can really describe the magic. The opera house itself is really magical, and I love this opera house. It's like So if man has a soul, and if my soul probably would not like to leave this place forever. It's such a magical opera house and a ballet house, now called the Royal Ballet and Opera. So this has, apart from the main hall, this is the main, of course, the main concert hall, and like many European operas and ballet houses, this is very ornate and elaborate, and what we really see is the ceiling, and then you have the rows. There are 6 levels, and then everything is really fantastic about this opera house, and how to describe it more, and then you have the projection systems. Last year when I had when a backstage tour of the opera house, I could see, I would pass through the lights, the different kind of lights that they use, and the dress room, some of the the dresses that they use for the operas and ballets, they're stored for many years. Like if the same opera or a ballet is up, it's called revival. If it is up for revival for after many years, then they have to store it and then ensure that it's in the right place. And for the ballet shoes are the most important for the ballerinas, and those shoes, like because without a good shoe they will not be able to dance. And it's really, I mean, extremely complicated art form. Operas and ballets are like, they're very precision art forms. It's like these are magicians. I would say that musicians are magicians, the opera or ballet, the singers and dancers are magicians, and then they create the magic together with the production team, which is the people handling the stage sets, the huge sets. This opera house, I believe, has about 9 different points that they can make in. That's the reason in a day they can sometimes get 2 operas, or in a combination of an opera and a ballet, or 2 ballets which are totally different. So they have machines. I believe it's from Rolls-Royce or somewhere, because a backstage person was telling me that they use those machines to really host up these huge sets. Sometimes, for example, that set for Don Quixote is very elaborate and extensive. I could recall the set for Don Quixote is like the set of Barcelona in the 15th or 16th century, that those move, for example. And then the set for Jephthah was very big as well, I remember and recollect. The sets for Rigoletto, that I saw here. So it's a fantastic, I mean, I don't know, one of the best opera house or ballet houses in the whole world. It's truly magical. I mean, I don't know if I would actually love to go to an opera or a ballet every day if that's possible. I don't know, somehow. Such is the magic of these productions, especially from the Royal Ballet and Opera London. Royal Ballet and Opera are usually 2 separate companies called the Royal Opera House, Royal Opera Company, and the Royal Ballet Company, headed by kind of 2 different management or directors, and then they produce this magic. I was getting from the backstage tour that they take about 2 years to really finalize one new production of an opera or a ballet. Then they have about 7 designs for clothes, and then they choose one, and then it's very elaborate and intricate. The music pit that we see has there are about maybe 50 or plus musicians here. It's just magic. It's the opera house is magic.